Yep, that's it. That's it. Hey, I got 3 questions for you. All right, this is just spitballing now, okay, Ruben? Walk with me. I want to spitball with you. What book are you reading right now?
Oh, so I've got 2 going on right now. I'm reading this book called Lifespan by David Sinclair. He's an Aussie, like yourself. He's the head of the anti-aging lab in Harvard. It's probably called something better than that. But I've decided that over this break and maybe for the rest of the year, it wouldn't be the worst use of my time to get a lot smarter about how people can live to be 120 or so. I'm kind of getting at that threshold of my years where, at some point the changes I would make in lifestyle it's going to be too little too late. But I think I'm like at the very end of when I can start really making changes that could actually move the needle on that. And I also don't know that many strength coaches are talking that much about how to train for just simply for longevity. And I think it's a really interesting topic.
Well, I know Andrew Reid here in Australia he switched his entire business model towards the over 40s for that reason of saying most people by the time they get to 40 and above are thinking, I actually just want to look good in the mirror. And part of that is about being healthy enough that I actually present well. And so there's a real shift in less about performance once you get to a certain age and more about being able to still be here at the end doing the shit that you want.
Half of anti-aging is just trying to get more years on, but the other more crucial part is that you actually enjoy your life for those last years. I mean, you need to be training to be able to lift a bag into the overhead compartment of an airplane. Like if you're not putting 15 kilos above your head, then you're one of these people that you just can't travel very comfortably. You're always asking people to help you. I mean, you don't want to live to be 120 and not be able to walk your groceries up a flight of stairs. You don't want to live and not be able to get out of a pool, So there's tasks and there are people talking about it. I stole a bunch of those from Peter Attia. He's talking all about like a centenarian Olympics, where what are the Olympic events for somebody that's 120? Because it should be, can you pick up a grandkid? Like if a grandkid comes running towards you and that grandkid weighs 12 kilos, can you pick up that grandkid without your back blowing out? So you have to be able to do a goblet squat with 12 kilos. I mean, you have to be able to, there's just a list of, you have to be able to, squat on the floor, like sit on the floor with a young child to enjoy your life when you're old. So, the take of these guys is that there's actually no reason that old age should kill you, but old age is the risk factor that kills you. We talk all the time. If you smoke, great. You have a 25 times more chance of getting lung cancer than a non-smoker. But once you turn 50, you have like 1,000-time chance of getting lung cancer over a chain smoker who's only 25. Like just being 50 or 60 exponentially increases your chances of getting cancer. It doesn't have to be that way. So it's fascinating. So
that's a good book. That's a good book to know.
That's the book that I'm reading right now. I'm about halfway through it, but it's got the old ticker working.
And the takeaway point from that I take is that getting old is a risk factor for dying. Who would have thunk it?
You heard it here first. Because so much of anti-aging is like, sorry, you just got me started. But basically, the U.S. is amazing at just fighting the fires once they already happen. This is, I just read the Dan Heath's book, which is called Upstream, and we're great at downstream things. We're great at curing problems. We have the best physical therapy. We have great physical therapists. We have incredible doctors. When people have to get orthopedic surgery, they come to America because we specialize in downstream fighting of fires and problems once they've already happened. But you get these European countries that spend their budgets on just keeping people from getting injured and getting cancer and all this stuff. And so same thing with dying. Everyone's just worried about trying to cure cancer once you get it and cure Alzheimer's and cure heart disease and all these things that kill you, where in fact there are absolutely ways that we can keep you from even getting to that point that no one is exploring because it's not sexy to try to be the anti-aging person, or whatever. It hasn't been sexy to do that. And so it's more sexy to be a surgeon.
Super answer. Let me throw in a second question. Who is someone that has you interested because of the work or adventures or services they are doing? It could be our industry, it could be another industry, it could be no industry. So when I put you on the spot, you got 1 second answer. Who is doing interesting shit that you're paying attention to? For example, on Twitter or Instagram, whatever.
Shit. Well, I mean, unfortunately, now I'm only thinking about the guy that wrote the book that I just talked about.
That's fine. That kills.
But I know,
he's good
and
enough
I would say
he's good enough to be the answer for 2 questions. That's cool.
Because I'm honestly, this is the only thing that's top of mind right now. But I will say that if people are interested in this, the other guy that I mentioned briefly, Peter Attia, he's the one that really started me getting excited about this. And actually, our friend David Joyce is the one that recommended the book and podcast to me that has me now thoroughly down a rabbit hole. And
what's the spelling of his surname, just so people know?
David. Well, first of all, David Sinclair wrote the book called Lifespan, which is all about longevity, and then Peter Attia, Attia, is a guy who's kind of dedicated his life to trying to live to be as well. Not immortal, but live a long effing time. So,
all right. Now I've got one last question. Okay, this is a selfish question. If you had 2 weeks off and a bit of cash, what adventure would you go on?
Melbourne, Australia, stand-up paddleboarding. Greg Day, done.
Yes. Come on. Okay, take me out of the picture. Give me another one.
All right.
All right, you get 3 weeks and double the cash. Come on, let me give you incentive to really.
All right, double the cash. Boy, right now I feel like I need a beach, but I am. I'm jonesing to surf, so I think I would want a Costa Rica, like a complete isolation beach, margaritas, and just surf. Like waking up in the morning with nothing to do but surf and read and finish up some books. That sounds paradise to me. But that's me being a little bit antisocial. That's the introvert in me. Of course, I also love the idea of doing my whirlwind tour and seeing buddies too. But there are too many to name, much like yourself.
All right, brother. I'm gonna cheers to you for my hip flask that's got my initials on it, and I think. Hey, want to know, does bourbon or scotch, are they included in David Sinclair's recipe for living old?
The nice thing is he's not just one of these guys that tells you can't do it anymore.
It's in the bandwidth.
He's
Let's just
practical.
Say that. It's in the bandwidth of tolerance.
Yeah, he's one of these guys. He's like, you have, like, fasting is, spoiler alert, if there's one thing you can do, it's that you need to be just lengthening your window of fasting every day. You need to be, 16 hours of fasting, and if you can, and then just eat in a very, small 8-hour window, or even better, whatever. But he'll be the first to say, nope, I love food too much, can't do it. Not great at it. Can't, always fail. And he's the freaking Harvard director of the Harvard Anti-Aging Lab. So even he has trouble taking his own advice.
All right, brother, it's been fantastic. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hey, spoiler alert, we're going to get Rett back for the second masterclass. So.
Whoop.
But that's all we got for today.
All right.
See you, champion.